Happy birthday, bro.
Thank you, man. 42.
Happy G. Happy C Day. 42?
Yeah.
That's cold. Damn, 10 years older than me.
Yeah, I think I've known you since I was in my late 20s, early 30s.
Damn, that's gangster.
Yeah.
That's super gangster. But that's inspirational though, because 42 is different than 42 back in the day.
It feels different.
42 back in the day was you're done.
Right.
You're cooking hot dogs, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, your rap career is totally over.
You're dressing bad, 42 back then was whack, bro. You straight.
I think that's because, the game is growing up with the time, so.
Yeah.
But even for me, I tell people all the time, even when I'm in the club, I don't even play for my age demographic a lot of times. It's
right.
Yep. So it keeps me in.
Yeah, it's because it's different. It's you're cool with your kids, and low key, your kids listen to the same shit we listen to in the club.
Absolutely.
So it's what's really, really cool, and it's not as easy to fight it as it was back then. You could push the young niggas out blah blah blah, fuck out of here, we playing this. Now it's that's really all that there is. Other than a straight up old school set.
Right.
That's all that there is.
That's fact.
There's no in between.
Speaking of that, I gotta ask you, just recently, maybe last week or 2 weeks ago, your legendary, iconic mixtape, Cushion OJ, just turned 10. Happy birthday to Cushion OJ.
Thanks, dude. To, be in Houston one night, and then be in New Orleans the next night, and then be in Atlanta rapping with you the next night. It was fun because that was the type of shit that I had only seen on DVDs or World Star at the time. So to actually be living that life, Cushion Orange Juice was really just my documentation of that. And it was the introduction for a lot of people to that lifestyle, but it was something that I had already admired. And, at that point, I had already, been a couple years in the game. I had been through my first record deal, blown that check, bounced back, so I'm rolling around with 300 grand in my pocket, feeling good, talking shit, doing mixtapes though, you know what I mean? So the energy was just a little bit different. It was fun. The competition was a little bit different. It was fun. A lot of my homies, from that time, we're all successful in our own right now. But, we were all pretty much in the beginning stages of really building and visualizing what we have now. So it was cool to just, set those goals and put those things up in the air, talk about a lot of that shit and, stamp it as, a brand and a lifestyle.
Did you feel it when that tape hit? This is the one that, because after that tape, it was time to put your, first debut single out and,
right.
The whole campaign started. Did you know after Cushion OJ, it was okay, this is the one that's going to take me to...
I really didn't know, that it was going to do all of that. I was just really confident in the material because of the lifestyle that I was living. I really didn't need anybody else at that time to validate that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it took about 6 to 8 months for it to catch on for me to be oh shit, the world is fucking with Cushion Orange Juice. We might have really got something. In my head, I was trying to make a classic, but to actually know from the reaction of the people and to feel it and to see it spreading, it took about 6 to 8 months of me being out in the streets, seeing people reacting or seeing niggas like Puff Daddy, you know what I mean, tweeting and talking about it, listen to it. I'm oh, it's really crossing over now because I'm an underground nigga and you got Puff Daddy over here smoking weed, you know what I mean? So that was the point when I started to figure out okay, we did some shit.
When did you do the double XL freshman cover after that? Was that
Yeah, it was after that.
Okay. And then tell me about the cover of Cushion OJ, because the cover is real.
It might have been before, honestly.
Really?
Hold on. We did the cover with Nip. Nah, the mixtape hadn't come out yet. I was talking about it, like I was saying, I was branding Cushion Orange Juice at the time. Cause I remember in my no, no, it did come out. It did come out. It did.
Okay.
It did.
The cover.
It might not have, bro. I'm confused. It might have come out, or it might have just been about to.
What year?
Because I remember in my freestyle, I had said Cushion Orange Juice for breakfast, flicking my ashes on dinner.
Sorry. Yeah, so might have been right after that.
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't have the accurate answer for that one. Oh, it was out. Will said it was out. Shout out to Boo Will and his biatch. Yeah, it was out because I had the blue Taylor Gang hoodie and I had the zigzag chains on when I did that, and I didn't have the zigzag chains when I made Cushion Orange Juice. So yeah, it was out.
Did you still have the Camaro?
The Challenger?
The Challenger.
I had just gotten the Challenger. Shout out to Dre Sinatra. Dre's in here. I had just gotten the Challenger when I dropped Cushion Orange Juice because I came home from being on tour because I had just signed a deal with with Atlantic. And I didn't want anybody to know that I had signed a deal because I wanted everything to be organic. Like I wanted Cushion Orange Juice to do what it was doing. And I didn't want nobody to be like, oh, well, he was successful because he had a deal. No, I signed a deal months afterwards, and I took the money and I bought a car with it. I saved some of the money, but I bought the car with the yellow car with the.
I always remember that Challenger because I remember being in Pittsburgh, which I used to be like every other weekend, and you pulled up on me at the club.
Yeah.
Played me a couple records. I remember one of them being Real Estate.
Yeah.
I think that's hard. That needs to be one of them ones. And then it wound up, the beat went over to Drake and Tip.
Drake and T.I., yeah.
But it was still one of them ones. But real quick about Cushion OJ, like the cover of that mixtape is so iconic. Like, how did you come up with the concept?
I remember being in Florida. I think we were in Tallahassee. And I was just trying to figure out what would be dope. And at that time, I was on a promo. No, it wasn't a promo tour. It was the second leg of I think it was the orientation tour. I'm not sure if I'm okay. Let's not get into tour names. It was the second leg of a tour. We were in a white van. We started up in about like Maryland and shit like that, and we started at my dad's house. And but he was in Maryland, yeah.
Okay.
So I was over at my dad's crib, and my dad always listening to old records and shit like that. So he pulled out David Ruffin. Boom. We listening to David Ruffin. He's putting me on all this David Ruffin records. He's like, damn, you never heard David Ruffin when he wasn't with the Temptations? I'm like, hell no, I had no idea. So I already had the whole mixtape done. I'm listening to the mixtape while we're traveling and everything. But we drove from, Maryland to Detroit to Chicago, down through the Carolinas again, even though I already got arrested down there. We went back down there, ended up in Florida, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, yo, pull up an old David Ruffin cover. I'm about to just put my head on there, and that's going to be the Cushion Orange Juice cover. We did that shit in like 20 minutes, chopped that shit up, and I was like, that's it right there.
Speaking of the XXL freshman cover, today we lost Fred the Godson.
Yeah, man, rest in peace, bro.
Fred. Sad state, what I'm saying? I mean, I just was thinking about it, like, for people out there that don't really think that COVID-19 is really touching us and people are really dying, like, we lost one of our own from Corona amongst the many people out there who have loved ones and what have you.
Right.
Did you ever get a chance to vibe with Fred?
Yeah, I think I met him maybe once or twice in person. I loved his music. His music was amazing. I feel like he's one of the dopest, like, MCs, like, rappers.
Absolutely.
Bar for bar, cadence, you know what I mean? Authenticity. And he's a funny-ass dude. He was hilarious, bro. Like,
His Funkmaster Flex freestyle is probably like top 3 of all time, if not.
Yeah.
Shit's
He could rap his ass off, man. And I feel like New York has those legendary MCs who are like in the cut. You know what I'm saying? People like Papoose and shit like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if you really know about music, you know about rap, you hold those people up really, really high. Like, even though they don't make, like, radio songs and shit like that, that doesn't take away from how talented he was. You know what I mean?
Right. For sure. Rest in peace to Fred, the Godson. I'm over here tuning into a new project, The Saga of Wiz Khalifa.
Yeah.
Why the name?
I feel like my career's been a nice journey up until this point. It's like 15 years plus. A lot of mixtapes, a lot of albums, a lot of hits. It has to move further, you know what I'm saying? So this is the first installment, and I feel like this gets people up to date with everything that I've probably done in the past, and it gets them super excited about what I could possibly do in the future, whether that's a new video, collaboration, or, my next album. I wanted everybody to anticipate, just greatness, and that's what the Saga of Wiz Khalifa is.
Had you always planned on dropping this on 420?
Ever since I knew I was going to drop an album, yeah, I don't always say, like, I'm going to drop on 420, but when I made up my mind that I was going to release an album and it was going to be the type of the body of work that it is, I knew 420 would be the perfect day for it.
How'd you pick your features for this one? You got Meg on there, you got Quavo on there.
Yep,
Ty's on there.
K-Camp, Tyga.
K-Camp, Tyga's on there.
And Logic.
That's hard.
These are all people that I was able to reach out to, whether it was phone call or whether it was like me pulling up to the studio to come see them. They come see me. These records all happen really organically and genuinely. So some of them I had on stash, and some of them it might have been last minute. And I was like, yo, I need that. You know what I'm saying? I need that special blah, blah, blah on there. But everybody came through and was solid just based off of the relationships that we have. And that's what makes this album so special to me, too, is the collaborations between, not only just the artists, but all of the producers and everybody on the business end of making sure this whole thing came alive.
I remember last summer, Meg was coming around. She was on tour with us a little bit, in and out. A lot of fun nights with the gang.
Yeah, we got really, really drunk. Like, most people have to ask me how it is